Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking a little bit about my labor story just to kind of help you guys know what to expect and just share kind of what happened with me with you guys. It was not an easy labor, but it was definitely worth it. So if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe to this channel. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and let's just go ahead and get started. His due date was originally January the 23rd or something like that, and we went to the doctor originally because they thought he was small in weight because I wasn't gaining a lot of weight. I had actually lost 16 pounds when I first got pregnant with him because I was so sick, and then he was also measuring small in my belly, so my doctor sent me to a specialist. We had thought that he was small, so we were really worried, and when we went to the specialist, he was actually super large, so they were like, oh yeah, he's actually measuring large. So we had to keep going back to the specialist just to make sure, and then they started telling me there was a chance that, you know, he could be a C-section baby if he was too large. If he kept growing like this, he'd be on the road to be a 10-pound baby, which my husband was born almost 10 pounds, so that wasn't a surprise to me. I definitely thought he would be a large baby. I was born 8'14", he was born like 9, almost hitting 10. So no surprise there, but you know, it was kind of scary because I really did want to try to have a vaginal birth. So what happened was they had just go ahead and scheduled me a induction because he was just not coming, and they were afraid that I wouldn't be able to at least try to have him vaginally. So they scheduled me an induction. This induction was when I had just turned 39 weeks, so we were going ahead in. At the last appointment, he was measuring like 9 pounds and 3 ounces. So we thought he was going to be pretty large. I thought he was going to be at least 10 by the time he came out. I wasn't sure if I could deliver him vaginally, but I really wanted to try. We got there and they made me wash with like the antibacterial wash, get in the shower, and then I got out and they just started me on this medicine to ripen your cervix. It actually just went under my tongue. I took it and then it gave me kind of like an allergic reaction almost. So they tried the Cervidil, which goes up and behind your cervix. And so as soon as they put that in, I started having contractions. You could see it on like the monitor. It was so weird. I was like always constantly at a 4 contraction. It was like 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. And then I would go up like higher, and then I would always stay at a 4. Like I never went down to a 0. I was just having constant contractions, like weird contractions through the whole night. They have to leave the Cervidil in 12 hours for it to work. So they left it in 12 hours. When I got to the hospital, I was dilated 1 centimeter, and then after they left the Cervidil in, by the next morning, I suffered all the way through the night, woke up, and then they told me I was only dilated to a 2. So it was super discouraging, and I was like bleeding, and I was so sore. It felt like somebody had just like ripped open my insides because of how much the Cervidil ripened and everything. And by this point, I was kind of just ready to go for C-section. I was like, whatever, I feel like I've been suffering for so long, like let's just do this, whatever, I guess he's not coming. So we're laying there, we're talking about it, and then all of a sudden it felt like my stomach removed from my body and dropped, and I heard like a pop, like a click and then a pop. I almost screamed for my mom. I was about to be like, Mom, there's something wrong. But as soon as I went to scream for her, I felt this gush of like warm water, and I was like, oh my God, like I knew exactly what it was. My water had broke. So after my water broke, they came back in and said I was 3 centimeters dilated. So they went ahead and gave me the epidural. As soon as they gave me the epidural, I was like, oh my goodness, thank God, I'm finally gonna be able to get some sleep. So I turn over to go to sleep, and then all of a sudden they're like, the baby's heart rate's dropping. We need to get you on this peanut, like turn you on your side, try to get him comfortable. So they turned me on the side with the peanut in between my legs, and they said, okay, yeah, his heart rate's good, so just stay like this. Well, all of a sudden I just felt like this uncomfortable feeling down there, and I was like, there's just like an uncomfortable feeling, and they were like, it's probably just your catheter from, you know, getting the epidural and everything, just calm down. But it just felt so weird and like so present, and I was like, this is not my catheter. I was like, this feels weird. I thought an epidural was supposed to make you feel better, but I feel like definitely awkward. And so they came in and checked me, and she was like, you're 10+1, like I feel no cervix, we need to start pushing. So my doctor had just came and checked on me about 10 minutes before this happened, and she was already back at her office. So I had to sit there. They said his head was in my birth canal. I had to sit there with his head in my birth canal for 10 minutes, not pushing, waiting for her to get back. Maybe it was like 10 or 20 minutes. I couldn't tell because I kind of like blacked out because I was in so much pain. So I start pushing, and then as soon as I start pushing, she says, stop. I noticed that the baby's heart rate is dropping. Let's just wait a little bit and then we'll try again. So I waited like a few minutes and then I started pushing again, and she said every time I was pushing, the heart rate was dropping. So we just went ahead for C-section. She went ahead and took me, and then he was born on January the 17th at, what time was it? I don't even remember the time. 4:20, I think. Yeah, 4:20 p.m. And it was amazing. He was the most beautiful baby ever, and I was so excited. The C-section honestly was actually the most relaxing part of my labor. I was in so much pain, so stressed out the whole time, and as soon as they gave me that second shot of epidural and laid me on the bed with like the warm, they blow you up in like this warm blanket, I was just so at peace, and my baby was finally there, healthy, happy, and I was just really excited. About an hour to sew me up, and then I finally got to go down to the recovery room with my husband and Hunter and see him, and I got to breastfeed him for the first time, and he latched on so great. He was such a good baby. He was so perfect. Really hard to recover from the C-section. I had to get up and just start walking as soon as I had it. They said the faster I got up and walked, that the better I would feel. So I did try to walk. I was walking pretty good by about the third day, but I think I just overdid it, and then I was super sore. It was a really hard C-section for me. The doctor gave me Percocets, but I read that they were bad for breastfeeding, so I didn't take them. I was living off of ibuprofen, and that made my back really hurt. It made everything hurt. It made me so grumpy just because I was in so much pain, but I just didn't want to take any pain medicine. It was a really rough labor. I think altogether I laid in labor for about 32 hours before having him, so it was very hard, but again, I'm just glad that he's healthy and that he's perfect and that he came out just fine. She said the reason his heart rate was dropping when I was pushing is because the cord was wrapped around his neck when they pulled him out. So I'm glad that we did go ahead for C-section because I obviously didn't want anything bad to happen to him. He was born 8'14", which is exactly how much I weighed when I was born, so I thought that was crazy. She said he was not as big as they thought he was going to be, so if the cord wasn't wrapped around his neck, she said I probably could have pushed him out. So I'm just really upset about that because I really wanted to try, but you know, all that matters is that he's here safely. Now we know for the next baby, it'll just be a scheduled C-section. I don't want to try to do a VBAC or anything because that's so dangerous, but I think it will be more peaceful with the next baby just because we'll kind of know what to expect more. But this was just very chaotic, very different than how I thought it was going to go. I guess that's how labor is. You never know, no matter how much you plan, how it's going to play out. So I hope this just gave you an idea of what to expect. If you guys are pregnant, or if you're talking about having a C-section or getting induced or anything like that, I hope your labor goes wonderfully. I hope your baby is super healthy, and I hope you are too. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel. I love you guys. I'd love to have you guys watch my videos. I love to make more, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.